In this video, we got to talk about new Valorant map changes, new profile codes that are incredibly cool, and other skin and cosmetic changes. So there's a lot we got to cover, but recently I've received message after message over players telling me how far they have improved ever since getting a GameLeap premium sub. People have messaged me reaching Diamond, Immortal, and yes, even Radiant, and they are incredibly grateful. But they actually took that first step and they went down to the GameLeap website and they tried to improve their skills. And that's all you got to do. So if you really want to climb to the next rank, take that leap and go check it out right now down below. Now, the first thing that we actually need to talk about is new progression info. This is something that actually got revealed where you will be able to earn boxes from wins or logging in daily. And this is going to be coupled with the new act point system that will be awarding you points that you can spend somewhere. Now, do we know where? No idea. Do we know what these boxes are going to have in them? No idea. But most likely, these boxes, depending on how much you win or how you open them or when you open them, you'll get these points of various amounts. And there'll be a specialty store where you can buy stuff with these points. And what I'm guessing they're going to do is there's going to be like a lot of sprays and simple stuff that are going to be worth like a regular amount of points. But if you really save up, you really grind for it, you might even be able to get a weapon. And this is going to heavily encourage people to grind the game more, which I think overall is a good thing because at the end of the day, it's free, right? If you don't have money to buy any of these really expensive skins, you can just play this progression system. You can just grind the game. And you can unlock a knife because it seems pretty weird that people that are a pure free-to-play account that just don't have any money, even if they've grinded thousands of hours in the game, they are still set on that default knife or whatever. And that's not really that great in my personal opinion. I would love some amount of cosmetics you have to grind really hard for. I think that'd be really cool. But definitely let me know what you think about this new potential progression system down below. Now, next up, we do got to talk about Icebox changes. And we did talk about the fact that there were going to be some minor changes, but it's not minor. There are some huge changes that are happening to Icebox. First off, the little piece of obstruction in the back of a site is actually a full-on box. You could use it for cover. You can crouch behind it, and it's another little place that once you take that space, you can use that to hide behind if you're playing for potential post-plant. Or if you're a defender, you can hide behind it. So it's another place that attackers are going to have to clear. Now, on top of that, if we look at Pipes is getting dramatically changed where it looks like the attacker's side of Pipes is being completely changed to where you can't hop up on that side is what it looks like. And you're not going to be able to head glitch from that side. So attackers aren't going to be able to get on top of that and then barely peek over head level at the people back a site, which I think is a good thing. It nerfs the attacking side a little bit. And I ultimately think that this is going to be a good thing, but we'll have to see how it plays out in game. Now, next up on B's site, look at this crazy change they're doing to the actual plant zone on B's site. It looks like it's completely encapsulated on the bottom side, which is very strange, but interesting. And the opening on the top side of it is actually moved all the way to the left, and it's a much larger opening. So there's not as much cover when you're on the top side, but there is somewhat more cover on the bottom side, especially for an attacker. An attacker can actually push into that area and plant, and it makes it so you actually have cover when you're planting, which is something that is incredibly important because when we think about how much Sage is used to wall off this, you can plant. You understand that having some sort of cover is actually really, really good. However, you could definitely counter this, right, with something like a snake bite. So it has counter play, but I do think that one of the biggest problems with B-side point in general is the attackers have a really small window to utilize their abilities and plant with something like Sage Wall or Viper Toxic Screen. And it can be really frustrating trying to rotate to this point, trying to take it later in the game, or just trying to push this all together from an attacker point of view. And that's why certain comps are really needed. And if you don't have those comps in ranked, it can feel very, very frustrating to play or push this site at all. And I do think that this is actually going to play out like a good change, but let me know what you think about it down below. Do you agree or disagree with me? Now, the last change that we need to talk about as far as map changes are concerned is the fact that this entire garage section is going to be fundamentally different. It looks like the entire structure on the left side that was see-through is replaced with a box. Now, I'm not entirely sure how this is going to affect gameplay, but it is an interesting change that they're making overall, and I'm excited to see how it plays out when I get my hands on the new map changes. Now, next up, we got to talk about the fact that you're going to be able to upload and download different crosshairs using profile codes. So it's going to be really easy to grab the different crosshairs from different pro players or just your buddy or whatever, and it's going to be really cool to try to find that perfect crosshair for you. I know it can be pretty difficult sometimes to find that ultimate crosshair, and this is going to be just a great way to share it around, and that's really cool. Now, the last story that we got to talk about is the fact that you can favorite and unfavorite skins in your inventory. That's going to be something you're going to be able to do soon. So, you know, that Reaver Vandal can be that favorited Vandal nonstop. And I guess it's just a really easy way to find the Vandal very quickly, or find the skin very quickly. And I guess as people have bigger and bigger inventories, because I've heard that there have been people that drop $500+ on goddamn skins, I guess you need to pick out your favorite, right? I don't fucking know. But anyways, definitely let me know what the most interesting story today was down below. And if you want to climb, you've been struggling, or you just want to make yourself the best player possible, the GameLeap website has everything that you need to help you improve. So if you're really, really dedicated to climb the ranked ladder, do yourself a favor and go check it out right now down below.